Hello everyone, it's your boy GarnetJr. And it's been a while since I've been on Instagram and I just put in a lot of work in the background. It feels good to come on here. Today we're just gonna, bless the people, give them some information. I'm gonna bring on a special guest today and we're just gonna be, having a conversation. We're gonna be having some wealth conversations today, you know. So, it's been a while, Welcome everyone. It's your boy GarnetJr again. So today we're gonna be, speaking more about like life insurance. What are the benefits of life insurance? How we can change our lives, right? Or we're gonna be having the conversation today, literally, right? So we're gonna bring on Miss Liverpool today, right? I have a special guest. Her name is Crystal Liverpool. She's been in the financial industry for a couple of years, and she's gonna be having a heart-to-heart conversation with me, and we're just gonna be talking it up, just giving the information, just giving you guys some game, all the good stuff. So 100%. So Crystal, let me see if I can find you and give you capabilities to hop on the call. Yes. So yes, Crystal, they can come on the call now. Hey, technical difficulty. What's going on? Yes, Instagram is playing with us. What is this? So we have technical difficulty already. Or they spirit them now out. The people get the information. What's going on? Hold on. What is this? What's going on with this thing? View request. Yes, Crystal, how are you doing?
Hey, sorry
Yeah.
about that. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah,
Thanks.
man. This person now want we give the people the information, but
Right.
guess what? That is in the air, so we have to give the people the information 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share this live out with a couple persons so they can hop on and partake. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you hear me? Good, good. So in the meantime, Crystal, just introduce yourself to the people them so they can know who you are, what you do, and all the good stuff. Because we're gonna be having that conversation today.
Mm-hmm. Again, thank you so much for having me here. I have over 10 years in the financial services background. Sorry. Bear with me. I am a little bit nervous. I have not really gone live before. I explained this to you. I am used to having conversations and stuff, but this is a new area for me. But I'm loving
Yeah,
it.
it's a
And
safe space. It's a safe space. The
Mhm,
people
mhm.
here, they're seeing what's going on.
Right,
Not everyone is camera ready. A lot of persons are shy. So, don't worry about it. The people, it's a safe space. They got it.
right, right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So
So go
yeah,
ahead.
so
Let the people know what's
um,
going on.
yeah, as I was saying to you, I do have a background in the financial industry. I worked at a major financial institution for over 10 years, managing, advising, and now I'm in the financial service industry. I'm actually an insurance and investment advisor, and I provide education and knowledge to families on how to save, how to you make their money, excuse me, make their money work for them. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And, I'm just trying to spread the message, Garnett. You see everything that's happening in the world right
Yeah.
now, right? People are going through a really hard time and they're looking for answers and, they need help, right? So this is where I come in, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we understand that persons are struggling and we have certain information that
Mm-hmm.
we would classify as secrets. And it's full time for us to just let the people know what's going on, because this information was only privy to the rich people, them,
Right.
right? They only had the information, and we know based on studies that it was in the 1980s that the regular civilians could even have this information or even partake of it. So it's time for us to let the people know. We're like the Trojan horse. We go and we infiltrate to get the information, and we're gonna be bringing it back to the people,
Mm-hmm.
100%. So, Crystal, life insurance, right? Let the people them know what life insurance is. Let them know what are the benefits of life insurance, right? And how they can partake and how they can elevate their lives.
Oh man. Life insurance is so important. It's so underrated. It is, overlooked. I wish that people actually took the time out to actually, educate themselves and just to see how this one product or, policy could actually be used to change your life. People don't realize the power that it has in it, right? This is the beauty of it. This is why when I studied this and I learned this, why I became so passionate in this industry, because, we see families out there that generation after generation, Garnet, that are successful, that like things are passed down to them. And, we wonder sometimes, like, how is this being done? And do you know, by a simple life insurance policy, you can help generation after generation of your family after you are no longer here with us, right? Is the beauty of it, right? It also too, there's this misconception about insurance as well. But insurance can also be used while you're living. It's not necessarily after death where you see the benefits of it. There are living benefits. We will get into that a little bit down the line, but you know that's why I have the excitement to try to put this out there and let people know, because even for myself, there was a lot of misconceptions, a lot of myths that I heard that I didn't quite understand. Um, but life insurance, especially in this day and age, is a necessity. It's a way to create wealth for your family. And I know a lot of people have probably heard this, generational wealth, and it is what it is. It's the truth, right? It's a tool. When used correctly, you can do just that. You can also use it to, uh, add to your life while you're still living, right? So that's the importance of having life insurance, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And just to reiterate what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of persons, because I've come in contact with a lot of persons, and from I mention life insurance to them, they're like, "Oh, so you want me to die? Or you want to put money on my head or something like that?" You get what I'm saying? Because even today, like I have family members
Yeah.
where I'm saying to you, hey, you need to get prepared, right? Because the other day, right, a family member of mine passed away, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we were like scrambling around the place, right? Basically getting money here, money there. Everyone was pulling money. And I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
you're not gonna feel it until it reach your doorstep, right?
Exactly. And
And I'm like,
unfortunately, that's a common thing, right? Nowadays, people aren't planning, right? They're not planning ahead. They're not really, everybody is, I understand living in the moment, and I do that myself as well too, because you're alive once, you want to enjoy that, right? But, age, health, right? Like these things are a factor, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, being a responsible adult, parent, person, you have to also take this into consideration and plan, right? And do it from a young age. The younger, the better, the more you can utilize it, the better you can set up for yourself. Because at a younger age, you're stronger, right? You have the ability to make more money and to build it faster and put it away. It's just, these things need to be tapped in and need to be educated.
definitely. So you mentioned money, right? And when people hear life insurance, when they hear the word life insurance, the only thing comes to their mind is death, literally, right? So,
Unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately, it's just death they're thinking about. So, we want to educate person and say, hey, this term life insurance, there's a reason why the term is called life and not death, right? So,
Exactly.
Crystal, bless the people, let them know how we can make money from these policies. Like, what are the different, qualifications of the life insurance policies, right? Qualifications mean what are the different features, right? Like let the people them know what's going on because
Mm.
there's too much wrong information, and even some advisors out there are basically communicating wrong information because I've been around clients and they call their advisor and the advisors advising them wrong, and I'm like, whoa, no wonder so many persons are scared
Right.
because some persons are not just, they're not privy, they're not trying to get the right information. They're just looking or just thinking about sales, just the money part of it. But we have to focus on the lives of people to enable so that the people them know, how to basically, make some money from it. And part in the pot sometimes,
Mhm.
majority of my followers they say, sometimes Garnet, be yourself, right?
Of
Don't try
course.
always peak, they're saying code switching, sometimes we have to code switch a little, but at the end of the day, the persons want us to be our authentic self. So sometimes, the pattern might come out a little bit,
Mm.
but we want to make sure at least we can communicate, so a lot of
Of
persons
course.
can
I have
understand.
absolutely no problem with
Pardon
that. I understand
me.
every word that you're saying. And again, I'm from the islands too, right? So I have no issue with that. And with me, always be yourself, right? I always try to be myself as well too. Um, but the question you asked me, it's pretty broad. There's a lot of different, I guess, features and add-ons that you can do to insurance policies in order to maximize it so that you get the best out of it. But before I even get into that, I just want to put this out there. There are only two types of insurance, of life insurance, I should say. There is term and there's permanent, right? Term is exactly what the word says. It's temporary. It's for a certain period of time. After that, it's done with, right? Permanent, of course, is considered to be to the end of life or to age. Um, the type of insurance that you use in order to, as you said, build wealth, right? And within permanent life insurance, there's two types, right? We have universal life and we have whole life, right?
Yeah.
These two, so basically these will cover you for your entire life, so meaning you have coverage up until death. You have, so anything happens to you, you pass away, your beneficiary will receive whatever amount of money that you are paying for over the years,
Yes.
right? But these policies also allow you to do investment
Yeah.
into funds, which allows you to actually grow money and to build wealth that way, right? And again, both of them have different features. Both of them have, depending on what it is that you're able to, whatever what it is that you're able to afford, basically, Garnet. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to what you're able to afford and
Yeah.
what you're able to put how much you're able to put money into it, right? Um, so with you
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, Crystal, right?
Mhm.
So, we have some questions here, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
some of
sure.
our
You
viewers
know
here,
me,
they are asking a
I
few questions, right?
definitely,
So, I
absolutely.
believe you explained a little bit, about. So, the first question is, can you explain the different types of life insurance? So, you were already ahead of the game with that part.
Very good.
So, they have another question. So, I have three questions, right? So, the next one
Mhm.
is, if you get denied with one type, if you get denied with one type, will that disqualify you from other policies? So basically, someone is asking, if you get disqualified from a policy, will that allow you to get disqualified from others? So they want to know, they want to get into that.
Um, well, you know what? It depends on why you were disqualified, right?
Yeah.
I've served many people and I have yet to actually get somebody that's been totally disqualified. Insurance companies will give you something most likely called a rating,
Yeah.
right? Where they will say, okay, we will give you maybe a part of what you were asking for if you're able to pay this amount of money towards it. Or, certain people have health issues or they have weight issues, right? And or smoking class again is something that's a big issue when it comes to insurance and
Yeah.
what they use to determine how much they're willing to risk on you and to give you, right? So those things I've run into. I have not in my experience met anybody that has not been able to get insurance. There's always something that they're willing to do. Again, give you a rating, change the policy a little bit, maybe give you, as I said, I mentioned with the health or the height or the weight, they might say, you know, if you're able to maintain or lose a certain amount of pounds and maintain it for a certain amount of time, we will reevaluate you and reevaluate your premium and see what you're able to qualify for then. So, you know, with that question, would it stop you from getting another product? It really shouldn't. Also, too, there are so many different insurance companies out there, right? And they, you know, you just have to do your research and you have to talk and you have to look into it, because different companies offer, you know, different types of coverages, or for people that have different issues that might have difficulty getting coverage. So if one company says to you, you know what, we don't feel safe enough to give you this policy, don't think that's the end of it. You know, always look into something else, always, you know, do your research, network, reach out to somebody else, right?
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, the last question, you kind of answered a part of it where she was asking
Mm-hmm.
who can apply for life insurance, right? You want to go a little deeper about who can apply for it?
Yeah, anyone from the age of 18, right? You can get your insurance policy. Even parents can get for their newborn baby within, from the moment they are about 2 weeks old. You can get an insurance policy, right? Anybody can get
True,
insurance.
true, true.
Some policies, of course, do have age caps, you know, age restrictions that they put on it, because again, you have to people have to recognize that with insurance, they're basically looking at us as they're taking a risk to insure us, to cover us in case of something happening, right?
Yeah.
Same thing, same concept as car insurance. We pay for car insurance every month in case something happens.
Exactly. Right?
Right? And what do we
Yeah.
get back from it? We get security, right? We get that peace of mind. You know what I mean? That things will be taken care of if something happens to me. It's the
Yes.
same concept for insurance. They face risks. It's a little bit different, of course, compared to car insurance, because now you're dealing with people and their health and different factors that actually affect, you know, policies and things like that.
Definitely.
So my answer is anybody can get insurance and everybody should have insurance.
Definitely, and that's why we need to communicate and let people know, right? There's different types for different reasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have personal, then you have
Right.
business, right? We don't even like there's so many different layers. There's just so much so much benefits from it, right? For
Okay.
example, you know, we can tap into business, right? You want to
Mm-hmm.
go a little bit into business insurance, right? Or we don't want to blow up their heads. Like let's just keep it on to a personal level first, right? Where we can basically, you know, give persons information to get them ready for, you know, personal wealth before they can get the business wealth sorted out. So, for example, another question basically is for persons basically who win money from the lottery, how can life insurance help them out? Right? You want to answer that question?
Um,
Or you want
I
me to take
mean,
it?
if I was to win the lottery, I am investing majority of that money
Mhm.
because I would like to, I'd like it to grow, right? I'd like it to compound, and you know what I mean? I'm not really sure about that question, to be
No,
honest with you, but
I got you, Crystal. Don't worry. So, my friend, so basically, right? Hmm?
pardon me?
Yeah, so don't worry, I got you, Crystal. So
Mm-hmm.
just to go a little deeper within it. So we always hear the myth of persons who make money, right?
Right.
And they basically get the lottery money and they don't know what to do with, right? So I always encourage people and you know, let them know that hey, you have the universal. That's one element, right? However, if you don't have that discipline where you have your payments coming out and you can put it in account and you won't touch it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then put it into annuity. Just give the insurance company the lump sum, right? Then pay it back to you with the interest, right? So that's another
My
way how
advice to anybody that comes into a lump sum of money is to get an advisor. Sit down with
there you
somebody,
go.
do a financial needs analysis, do these things, right? Figure out what your, you know, what your debt is, figure out what your assets and your liabilities are. Pay off some stuff. Let them, you know what I mean, put you on that path. Uh,
Hmm.
for somebody coming from scratch, it's rather difficult to figure this stuff out on your own, and it takes some time, right? So that's why you have people like myself and like yourself that are here to advise people and to lead them to the right direction of what they should be doing with that money. Because take advantage of coming into a large sum of money, right? Use
So
it wisely.
I want to ask you a question. So you were talking about advisors, right? But a lot of persons don't believe in mentorship. So let's go a little bit into that, because we understand that, hey, at the end of the day, people can always make money, right? But before they make money, if their headspace isn't correct or their mindset isn't correct, right? Like, they will easily lose it, right? Because, there's so many different factors, right? So let's talk about mentorship, right? Why should someone get an advisor? Let, let us just go a little bit deeper, because people feel like, hey, we are here just to make money off of them, right? They don't really understand what we're bringing to the table, right? So let us just educate the people and tell them, like, hey, why do you need a financial advisor? Why should you listen to us, right? So let
It's
the people know.
it should be very obvious. I mean, people have been working for years, right? They
Yeah,
haven't gotten ahead, right? They're living paycheck to paycheck, right? Most people out there don't have a budget. You know what I mean?
yes,
You need sometimes you need somebody to sit down and clarify things for you, right? The need for a financial advisor is huge. Every wealthy person, every business person, anybody successful has a financial advisor, right? Like they're, and people don't have to think, oh, I just have I just work my 9 to 5, I make maybe 40, 50, 60K a year. You still need a financial advisor, because we as humans tend to overspend,
yeah.
right? We don't you know what I mean? We spend off of emotion, right? And you need somebody and that's going to help you get that in line and show you where to put your money. I used to have that same mentality when I was younger. What do I need somebody to advise me what to do with my money? Until I realized I don't even know what to do with my money, right? I'm doing the
Wow,
wrong things,
I feel it.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
honestly,
yeah. Sit
like,
down with somebody.
even
We have
right now,
we have so much going on in our daily
yeah,
lives, right? Sometimes we don't have the capacity to wrap our brains around what we need to do with our money, where we need to put it, what's happening with it, what's due, what we have to pay, things like that. Like, people, the financial advisors went to school to study this, to be able to help you to the best of their ability and to get to do the best for you. So take advantage of a financial advisor, take advantage of a mentor. I have a mentor, I have several, right?
yes.
Nobody's perfect, nobody knows everything. Knowledge is to be obtained, it's out there, and you just have to navigate like that in life. Sorry to cut you off, go ahead.
No, no, Crystal, it's okay. So, I just have a burning issue, right? And I want to talk to you,
Mhm.
right? Can I be transparent, right?
Yeah, of
This is a
course.
safe space, right?
Yeah.
So, we always hear they say that, financial advisors are out there giving information, right? And, financial advisors basically give the information for free. But I've come to the realization that sometimes when you give people this information for free, right, they don't pay attention to it. They take it lightly, like they do nothing with it. So you see how we're here giving out this information for free. Some person might come on, right, and then they might just hop off, and they might, oh, this is foolishness, or this is no value, because they're not tapping into it. And some persons out there, they're struggling, right? And then some people, they pray, and then God answers their prayer in a particular way, where the life is here, and the life is for them to listen to and tap into it and get a little bit more information, but they don't go and tap into the information, because guess what, it's free, right? So I really have a burning issue where, as a financial advisor, I know a lot of persons in our field give the information for free, just like that. But I'm a part of a group, and I always hear people say, when people pay, they pay attention, because guess what, everyone wants to get their money's worth. So when they pay, right, they will basically pay attention,
Mhm.
right? And they will write it down, and they will take some actionable steps. But
Of
if
course.
we just give it out for free like that, and we just communicate like that, they do nothing with it. And I've realized that because we do this so much, that's why a lot of persons' lives aren't changing. So if we basically, you know, change it and start to charge, like at the end of the day, I think people are gonna take it a little bit more serious. Do you think so?
Well, definitely. Sorry, excuse me. First, I would just like to start and say nothing in life is free, right? People need to wrap their minds around that and they need to accept it. My time is very valuable to me. You know, let's just keep it real, Garnet. How long have you been trying to get me to come and sit down with you? I am busy. Right?
True,
I am
true.
busy, you know? I am busy doing what I enjoy. I am busy helping people. And, you know, the beauty of that is that I actually get paid to do it, right? And I get paid well to do it. And that is the goal for most people. You get into a career or something that you like to do because you enjoy it, and it also should be profitable for you. So, you know, yes, I get it. Not everything is about money, right? And there are a lot of people out there that are looking for information and that are looking for help, right? But you know, the people that are worth your while, the people that actually have some valuable knowledge to share with you and to help you grow as an individual, my friend, you're going to have it's going to cost you money. You're going to have to pay for their time. Time is valuable. Time is valuable, right? And you know, I try to reiterate that to people, and not in a kind of pompous or any type of way, but it just is what it is, Garnet. It is what it is. And you
Definitely.
know, being an advisor, you know, in the beginning of my career, I did fall into this habit that I had of oversharing, of like, you know, because I was so excited about what I learned, and I was like, wow, nobody knows this. Like, people need to know this. Like, I need to tell them. And I
Yes.
had to learn how to
Yes.
reel it in and be like, no, like, come and sit down with me. Take the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that answers your question or what you
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
trying to get to,
Yes,
right?
definitely, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just a burning issue to me. Because I'm like, we're so passionate about it. I'm so passionate
Mm-hmm.
about the information. I share the lives. I go deep into it. I try to drip the content. I'm not trying to. I'm being my authentic self, right? You can hear how I speak. I'm not going in front of a proctor and reading from a script, right? I'm letting persons know. And what I've actually done, I've made sure that I've done it for myself
Right.
first, for those around me. But some people just
You,
don't take it serious, and I'm
but you
like,
know what,
what should
Garnet?
I do?
The people that don't take it serious, it's either the message is not for them, it's not their time, right? And you know, you coming on here and taking your time out and sharing your information and your knowledge freely, you trust me, blessings will come back to you. That's a big deal, right? It's a big
Sure.
deal. You know, you need to put the work in. You need to sacrifice a little bit, right? People need to hear you, and you know what I mean? Like, things happen in time. Things happen in time. So when in that instance, I would say to you, like, what you're doing is a good thing.
Yes.
What you're doing is needed,
Yes.
right? Do not do not study the people that come on and might be like, oh, I don't have time for this. That's life. Not everybody, again, will get the message, Garnet, and
I
not everybody
understand.
is meant to get the message.
Sure.
I had to learn that in life because again, coming into this industry, learning all this, like sharing it with people, and then watching people like not take it serious, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you not hearing what I'm saying to you? I had to understand and learn how to deal with that because it's not for everybody. It's really
I
not.
understand. Understand. And pivoting sometimes is necessary because
Mm-hmm.
life is always life in. I
Yeah.
always say that, life is life in. So I do understand sometimes when persons out there are doing a particular job or they're in a particular field and they feel like they're stuck,
Mm-hmm.
like nothing is happening. Life is life in, and stuff is going on. So I do, sympathize with that because it
Mm-hmm.
has happened to me personally where sometimes that drive is gone down a little bit. Is either listening to the wrong people. I'm around a negative environment. So,
Right.
my vibration goes all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes it's good to get some reassurance, right? And that's why we should always, seek to be around the people who have the information we need.
Right.
And, one of the success principles they always say is who you listen to. You have to listen to the people
Yeah.
who have the information you need.
Yeah.
And, those who have set the pathway before us, right? But a lot of persons out there don't want to do it. And then when we put in the work and we have the results, then there's this thing called bad mind. You understand? Let's talk about that, right? Where when you basically put this work in, right? Like you were communicating the information to persons out there, right? But they took no action, right? And then you sacrifice, right? You put in the hard work, you sweat, you suffered, right? You went to mental trauma, physical trauma, and you got the results. Then persons out there just feel like, okay, I should just give it to you just like that when you work so hard for it. Let us talk about that. How would you cope with a situation like that, where, envy is involved, bad mind is involved? What would you tell our viewers today? Because I know some persons here, right, they have put in some level of work, right, and they have some results, but we're sometimes are scared to, like, enjoy our fruit of our labor, because what we have the paradigms, people are gonna say this, people are gonna say that, right? So how do we cope with this? I want to get your perspective on it.
You know what? It's another thing that I had to learn and experience for myself. And you know what it boils down to, Garnet? If people are being bad mind, if you have haters, if people are talking bad about you, my friend, you're on to something. You're on to something
How
good.
so?
I
How
had to
so?
learn that. I
Talk
had
to
to
me.
realize that. I'm like, why am I getting such a fight when I'm
Talk to
trying to
me.
do good,
Talk
right?
to me. Talk to me.
So me personally, I had over the years, I've learned to accept it. It actually gives me a little kind of drive and a little kind of like, oh yeah, okay, all right. Me personally, right? Like I'm not here to work off of people's energy and what
Yeah.
people are feeling and stuff like that. That's not my purpose, right? I know what my purpose is and I stick to it no matter what the heat around me gets to be, whatever the temperature is. I know what I'm doing, the path I'm on, the mission I'm on, what I want to do, what I want to succeed, and what I want out of life. So, you have to develop a type of mental toughness and a thick skin, because what my parents say, mouth is made to talk, right? That's
Definitely,
what people are
definitely,
gonna do. That's just part of
definitely.
life. It's part of
Yeah.
life.
And we know that at the end of the day, when people enter business, right? Because no matter what, I always say this, business is the way to financial freedom, because,
Definitely.
somebody might be working for somebody, but at the end of the day, you're always going to get
Yeah.
capped. Someone always controls you, right? So there's no
Yeah.
true financial freedom if you work for
No,
somebody. So
you cannot
business
get
is
what you
always the
find.
goal. But with business, have you realized with business, no matter what, it's like a battle, it's like war? I always say business is
Of
war.
course.
Do you share the same sentiment?
I definitely do, and I've come to enjoy it. Actually,
Woo.
it's the
Also,
highs and lows, right?
yeah,
The Sometimes you're so high, you feel untouchable, and when that low hits you, it humbles you and brings you back down to earth, and then you're like, okay, all right, back to the mission. I let myself slip there, but I think life is the same way too, right? In business and life, I mean, there's
yeah,
ups and downs, and we're supposed to go through that. I think that's what makes success even more sweeter when it happens for you.
yes,
For me, it's again, it's not something that I'm gonna lose sleep over. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm an overthinker, so I'm gonna think left, right, around, center, up top about it, right?
yeah,
And then I'm gonna attack and I'm gonna put actions into place. I just don't think those things are things that you should let cloud your judgment or let take you off of your journey and your path that you're on, right? You're on a mission to help people,
yes,
right? And
yes.
when you involve people in what you're doing, those things come with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So, we always hear people say, like, our people don't like to work with each other because of so many different stuff.
mhm.
Like the other races basically work with each other, but the narrative is black don't work with each other, right? And we basically are always fighting each other. And I'm like, we can definitely change that narrative. And even say with going back to life insurance, right? We have the crisscross life insurance policy where at the end of the day, our key person life insurance where say I'm gonna do business with you, Crystal, right?
Mhm.
People should know that at the end of the day, business is black and
Right,
white, right? So I can definitely do business with you. All we have to do is set up a contract,
right,
right? Do a key person insurance, right? Where you don't have to worry about the person sneaking you or going to do something negative because you have everything in black and white. Meaning that, hey, if we're gonna be doing business, 50% is yours, 50% is mine, right? We insure each other, right? So if anything happens to you, your investment is protected. If anything happens to me, your investment is protected, right?
Right.
And all of that can be done. So we can change the narrative that black can't work with black, right? All we have to do is implement contracts, implement key person insurance, right? That protects each other, right? And we move forward from there. So I'm just trying to, understand how life works and how we can implement all this information into our lives and the lives of others. But it's hard. It's hard. It's hard sometimes, literally. Oh, internet gone. It's the guys, you know. Oh boy, live. Instead I say spirits in my work, don't want us to communicate the information. Hold on. Whoa. Let me start this.